Crusty? I do not look crusty, Esteban. Thanks. What's up, you guys? It is another episode of a Crystal's Nightcap. Wherever you are, thank you so much for listening, hanging out with me. Oh, I need to scoot over. This is good? Okay. And you guys do know that Tuesdays and Thursdays, Crystal's Nightcap is on YouTube now. So you can check me out on YouTube as well. So let's start with hand me the headlines. Anything that was popping, trending, viral, local, we're going to get into right now. So the first thing I want to talk about has to do with right here in San Francisco. This is what I consider a really, really big deal. Okay. I've never swam in the Bay. I've swam in the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. I swim in the crusty Alameda Beach, and I have reasons to call it crusty. I saw literally a diaper floating in the Alameda Beach one time after I already had come out and was swimming. And then I also paddle boarded in Jack London Square. They have like a little paddle boat thing there, which is really fun, but I did find a needle in the water as well. So yeah, our bay is beautiful. You know, our Jack Londons are beautiful. Our oceans are beautiful, just not always the cleanest. And I think that we can all agree on that. But something that my mom always told me to be warned about here in the Bay are sharks. Yes, there are great white sharks here in the Bay, and one was caught recently, you guys. So this happened from a fisherman in Tracy. He caught the whole thing on video. You can check it out, lacrystalrosas.com, of course. And this man and his team, his crew, they go fishing like 4 to 5 times a week. They've been going fishing like this for the past 20 years. And they recently reeled in a huge great white shark that was like 6 to 8 feet. The man said that he was like trying to reel it in. At one point, it almost pulled him in. Like, that's how crazy of a reel this was. And of course, you know, it is illegal to hunt. Well, not hunt. I mean, yeah, I guess hunt, fish, or keep great white sharks. They're extremely endangered. So the law is if you do end up catching one on your hook, you're just supposed to let it go. The man showed a video of him letting it go and just kind of swimming along. The great white shark had a huge fish in his mouth as well. So it was super, super cool. I love this stuff. Like when I see great white sharks, I'm always like, oh my God, what's going on here? And I don't know why I always had a fascination with great white sharks. I don't know everything about them, but one thing that I do know is that they cannot be kept in captivity. The longest time a great white shark has ever been kept in captivity was at the Monterey Bay Aquarium here in California. And it was like only in captivity for a few weeks and it died. And like a lot of like scientists and researchers and the people who study fish and sharks and all that, like never understood why great white sharks couldn't survive in captivity. And there's a whole, like, I think it's on Netflix or on Hulu or one of those, a documentary about it. Or actually, honestly, I think I saw it on YouTube. I think I just like looked it up on YouTube because I was curious myself. And the reason is because great white sharks and a lot of types of sharks, actually, not just great white sharks, can't be kept in captivity because they need a steady current. Something like that, like where it was just a solid tank and they would just die after a few days, a few weeks. They would fish these huge great white sharks. And it was really sad that like a lot of great white sharks were dying in captivity because no one can keep them alive. And still we can't. Like, we haven't figured out how to do it. I don't think that we really should be doing it. They need to be out in the wild. They hunt huge fish. I mean, I'm not like a marine biologist or anything, but I did like to like look into this. When I was younger, I was obsessed with dolphins as well. I know a lot of things about dolphins. Like when they sleep, they sleep and then they come up for air as they're sleeping and then kind of like go down. They stay like in a shallow area, which I think is really cool. I don't know. But seeing this video of the great white shark, I was freaking out. I showed it to my little nephew, Alex. He's 6 years old and he loves sharks as well. So he was freaking out about this. I think it's hella cool when we can see like things like this go down in the Bay Area. Again, if you want to check it out for yourself, you can, lacrystalrosas.com. So that's some local news right there for you. And some not so local news, more disgusting news. I talked to you guys about how last time I came back from Mexico, when I went to my best friend Elisa's wedding in Cancun, I got really sick on the plane ride back. And I could just tell like 2 hours in the plane ride, my throat was getting hella dry. I started sneezing. I just felt weak. And for about a whole week, I was sick. I think I caught a cold or a virus or something from the plane. And this video that you can see at lacrystalrosas.com just shows how nasty and grimy people can be on airplanes. There's actually 2 videos, okay? So there's this man who, okay, you know how on certain airplanes, like I think it's like JetBlue or some other airplanes, you have a screen, a monitor in front of you, like a tablet, right? And you can, they have some free movies on there. They have free TV shows, the music, whatever. This man, he was pretty much in the front of the plane. I don't think it was really like first class, but it was definitely the front of the plane because he was the first one there. This man was barefoot and he was using both of his bare feet, in particular his right big toe, to scroll up and click on things. And, if he had no arms, that would be one thing. If he didn't have hands, that would be one thing. Because I know that people who sometimes don't have arms or hands be using their feet for things. And I think that's totally fine. Like, do what you need to do. This man had arms. His arms were on the armrest, just chilling right there. And he was, I see, on the plane with his big toe and his nasty bare feet touching all up on the tablet, where people obviously like touch the tablet when they come to bring the pretzels. You're touching the tablet, eating the pretzels, using your hands. You're, drinking drinks. And if you're me, you're taking shots on the plane too with your hands that you just use the tablet with. And I was so disgusted. I was like, this is why I'm getting sick. This is exactly why I'm getting sick, because people cough on the plane. The spit goes on the floor. People are walking barefoot on the plane that I see all the time. Like, people really walk barefoot on planes. Okay, if I'm going on a plane, I want to be hella comfortable. So I'm usually, this is my plane outfit routine, because I've been traveling a lot this year. You guys know that I get to pick my own vacations now, my own vacation days. Now that I'm not like on the JV show. When I was on the JV show, we all took vacation together. So I never really got to pick when I went on vacation. I've explained this before. And, now that I have my own show, as long as I accrue my time off, I get vacation days. So I've been able to take days off here and there. So I've been traveling a lot and getting on planes a lot more than I used to before. So I usually wear like running shorts. Like I went to Walmart and just buy some cute little colorful running shorts. I'll probably wear my huaraches or some flip flops. No, I don't like wearing socks, but right now my toes are crusty, so I've been wearing socks for the past like week and a half. Not gonna lie. And then I have a little bag that I carry with me, like kind of like a tote bag that you can fold to make it small if you need to. And in that, I keep a thick pair of sweatpants, like Walmart sweatpants. I keep a little cobijita because sometimes it be getting cold on planes. And then I'll keep my little stuffed animal, Lily, and she acts as a neck rest for me. And then I'll also bring a zip-up hoodie. So I'll usually go in like a tank top or like a t-shirt, my little shorts. And then if I be getting cold on a plane, I hate being cold. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is being cold. So if I'm too cold, I'll put my sweatpants on. If I'm hella cold, I have my little cobijita as well. And then I have my zip-up jacket if I want to use that. So that's how I go onto planes. So I do usually like 9 out of 10 times I'm barefoot on a plane. Not barefoot, but I'm wearing my huaraches without socks or my flip-flops without socks, which I think is fine. And then I'll take off my like huaraches and flip-flops. I don't think that's an issue, but I'm not going to have my feet like on the armrest like some people do. I'm not going to be laying out sprawled out and then my feet hanging out on the edge of the aisle, because I think that's kind of gross. I think that we need to keep our feet to ourselves. And for the most part, out of people's sight. And, if I do want to like lay my little legs out, I will put the cobija over my feet so that people can't just see my bare feet. And we have people out here who are using their toes, their big and their middle toe, to type on tablets that everyone uses their hands for. He should have been called out. If a stewardess saw that, she should have immediately called him out and been like, sir, that's a little inappropriate. You need to put your socks on because it's smelling over here in aisle 1. That was not cool at all. And I saw another video that's up at lacrystalrosas.com, and this was so disgusting. So apparently there's this airplane, British Airways, that was leaving from Pakistan and going to London, right? And the passenger on the plane obviously was so disgusted, he started filming everything. Okay, first of all, there was like a toalla, like a towel that was on the edge of the bathroom floor. Okay, because when you close the door, and if there's leakages, obviously, they had like a towel there because apparently there was flooding and leakages from the toilet. That was hella nasty. The towel was all damp, you could see, and like brown colored. There's pieces of toilet paper and trash all up and down the aisles. It looked like someone threw a frat party on the plane, and people are just like sitting there like, oh my gosh, like not knowing what to do. Basura everywhere. It looked so gross. I would demand a refund. Because honestly, I always tell you guys, like, these airports, airlines, they be ripping us off so much. Like, most of them, they're not refundable after like 24 hours. They hella get over on us customers. And then a lot of the times, like, there's issues. You guys have heard me had an issue with someone who worked at an airline as well, and you guys found her. Y'all found her, and I complained. And they only gave me like $75 or something, which I thought was like not enough, but I also wasn't going to fight it more. So if this was me and I was on this plane that was dirty as heck, I would be like, hi, whoever is attending me, I'd be like, hi, can you guys work on this airplane? Like, this is very unsanitary. This is disgusting. Like, you can't even walk around because all the mugrero that was everywhere. It is so gross. And like I said, I would have asked for a refund right then and there because that was absolutely not okay. This video is going to gross you out and you're going to be like, I can't believe people actually had to board this plane. Like, what do they do? I knew people who worked. Oh, I still know people who work at the airlines. And what did my friend work for? He worked for United. And I know we be hearing things about certain airlines, but he works for United and they had to clean everything off. They would come around with trash bags. You know, I really like flying Southwest because I've never really had problems with them. If you can't get on a flight, they are super easy to accommodate you. And let's say like I want to cancel a flight, they'll give you credit for a new flight. So they don't really be ripping you off that much. You know, you get a free carry-on and you get a free checked bag and you get a free little personal bag, which I think is just what you need. You know, you don't need much more than that. And yeah, Southwest is a little more pricey, but this isn't an ad or anything. This is just me, like, literally, I try to fly Southwest as much as I can, unless they don't have a direct flight. But like, I just think it's fair. I think that their rules are fair, even if it is a little more expensive than the other airlines. You know, I always know I'm going to get pretzels and a drink. Okay, I'm not going to be there thirsty as heck. And if I'm like really, really hungry, I can ask for a few more pretzel bags, and they've always given them to me. They come around with the trash bags. There's not trash everywhere. But I know that since I got sick last time, and I'm still kind of getting over that, which I think is more just allergies. Now that I've been talking to different people and assessing my health right now, I think I just need to be on like an allergy medication, like Allegra, or is that allergy? Yeah, Allegra, Claritin or something, because I think that's what I'm having issues with my cough and my little sneezy. I think I just have allergies. But yeah, I'm gonna be traveling around with Clorox wipes and also a face mask. I don't care if people think that I'm extra or if I'm doing too much. It really, really sucks when you get sick on a plane. And I mean, these are good problems to have. I know I'm traveling and doing my thing now, but you know, I worked hard and I love to travel and go new places with friends and family. Or the same places, like in this instance. But you know what I'm saying. So that is very disturbing. These videos are not okay at all. Like I said, if you want to check them out for yourself, they are up right now, lacrystalrosas.com. So this next story is pretty disheartening to talk about. I mean, no one died or got killed or anything, but it could have happened. You guys know that it's hard out here for the African-American community just to live and breathe. And there's this man in Ohio, okay? He is a police officer. He was in full officer uniform, all right? And of course, he had his firearm on him. He was in an IRS, like tax office or something like that in Ohio. And there was a security guard there. And the security guard was white. This officer was black. And the security guard, for whatever reason, felt harmed that the officer in full uniform had a gun on him. So you can see like the video, like the security guard is like, hey, put your hands up. And the officer is like, I'm an officer, like I'm on duty right now. And the security guard like wasn't letting it go, and he even drew his gun at him. The security guard drew his gun on an officer in a full uniform, okay? Backup had to be called on behalf of the black officer. And I was just, I cannot believe this when I was watching this and reading this story. I'm just like, damn, you can't even be like a black police officer out here in America without someone else thinking that you're a threat because you have a gun, you know, legally have a gun and have been trained to have a gun. I thought it was like super, super uncalled for. The officer himself had his own press conference, and all that stuff is also at lacrystalrosas.com. But I just feel like every few days we hear stories about this, and it It's just so sad. Like I just feel like people can't even live these days doing their own job. He went into the office because he was doing his job, and then like you're gonna feel threatened by that. Yeah, man, I just feel so bad. Like, what else can you say about that? So those are the few stories that I wanted to talk about. That pretty much sums it up for Hand Me the Headlines. Now we're gonna get into Crystal's Cave. Y'all know how I do. In Crystal's Cave, we talk about what happened with me today, what's going on in my life, and I need to come clean about something that I forgot to mention in last night's episode of Crystal's Nightcap when we were in Crystal's Cave. Okay, so in last night's episode of Crystal's Nightcap, if you haven't listened to it, you need to go back and hear about my crazy weekend. I don't really drink too much because I get hella crazy when I drink, and I know that drinking brings upon problems sometimes, and I don't want to look sloppy out in public. If I'm like in a secure area with my good friends and like there's no one that I don't know around, I tend to get a little more loose. But in public, like I definitely try to, make sure that I'm on my toes for whatever is to come up. So I got a little out of hand Sunday night with my girl Angelina. You hear me talk about her all the time. She does Saturday nights here on Wild 94.9 for the Saturday night street party. So I was with her and her cousin and his friend, and we got a little crazy in San Leandro. I started missing someone, okay? I started feeling very lonely, and I've been in my feelings a lot about this person. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. Jesus, the guy whose ex-girlfriend or girlfriend had attacked me that one time. If you haven't heard that episode where a female attacked me, you need to go listen to it. But yeah, I talk about it a lot that I broke it off with him a few months ago because I just realized that we were not in a place to be together at the time, and it was just a lot of things. It was like a lot of things that piled on top of it, and it was just better if him and I just kind of like didn't talk. So him and I haven't talked since April, and it's been really hard because I really liked him and I've just been kind of missing him. And, you would think that with time it would kind of get easier and I would forget about him. And sometimes I do, other guys come and go, but I really, really liked him and I do miss him a lot. So it's been a little difficult for me. And it just so happens whenever I get belligerent, I think about him so much. And so when this happened when I was in Cancun, like when I was in Cancun for the wedding, I got super wasted one day, and same thing, I was hella thinking about him, but I didn't really act on anything. I just let it be, okay? And this past Sunday, I was missing him so much, and it was only like 10 p.m. and I was like telling Angelina, like, I'm gonna text him. She's like, no, don't. And half the time she tells me not to, half the time she tells me to not, and I usually don't. I like hadn't reached out to him since, but Sunday got the best of me, you guys. Sunday night got the best of me. And I did end up texting him, okay? Texted him around midnight, and which is just awful, first of all, because if you're texting someone from midnight, they know that you're only like really thinking about one thing. So I texted him around midnight, and oh my gosh, it was so annoying. I just put, "Are you busy?" That's all I said. The letter R, you, the letter U, and then busy. That's it. And then I was just like watching my phone, and like I had my notifications on hella loud, and like he wasn't texting me. Like 5 minutes went by, he didn't text me. 10 minutes went by, he didn't text me, and I was just like, Angelina, the audacity! I can't believe it's been 5 minutes and this fool hasn't texted me. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, he's done. I'm just like, cutting him off again since I already technically cut him off. And then after like 15 minutes, I had forgotten that I texted him. Honestly, I like totally forgot that I texted him until I woke up the next day. I woke up around like 10 the next day because I had to take my little nephew to swim lessons. I woke up and he texted me around 8 in the morning, and all he said was just woke up, and I was like, okay, well, that never happened. That never happened. I never drunk texted you. And, I was telling Angelina about it, and she's like, man, like, he really doesn't even care. He could have been like, oh, like, been missing you or been thinking about you, how you been, sorry, was asleep. Yeah, clearly, like, he's still butthurt. I'm still butthurt about the situation. I don't really know where his mind is. I hear through the grapevine certain things. But it was really embarrassing that I texted him. I was just like, and you know what? I'm also really happy that he only texted me like those few words, like, just woke up, because I really am not in a place in my life where I need him right now, or like not need him, but just like this isn't it would have there's no point for us to be talking or hanging out. It's just it's better for me to wait for him to grow up in about 5 years and then see him later. So I think that it's for the best that he was like, not trying to like continue the conversation or, wonder more about what happened. So that happened with that. That was yesterday morning. And I took my nephew to swim lessons. He loved it. He had so much fun. We went to get Chinese food. I had hella leftovers. And I was watching my nephew pretty much the whole day until I had to go to work. And then I took him to my brother, his dad, my nephew's dad, the little baby Alex, the little duck. And I had a little bowl of chow mein for him, like leftover chow mein for my nephew. So he's sitting at the table and he's about to go in on the chow mein. And he just like vomits all over the chow mein, throws up on my brother's cell phone, his iPhone. He throws up on the floor. I like run over there to like, and he's like still like throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. I'm like, and my nephew's only 6, so you feel so bad seeing a little baby over here throwing everything up. You're like, oh my gosh. So I run him to the garbage. I slip my bare feet. I slip in his vomit. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I think he was dehydrated. We think he was dehydrated because he kept vomiting for a long time. He was kind of feeling sick. I unfortunately had to rush to work. So I didn't get to like really see how he was doing, if he got any better. I called my dad and I called my brother to see how he was, and he was doing a little better. This morning, I woke up and went to my mom's house to go pick him up to take him to swimming because all week long he has swimming lessons. And I could tell from yesterday's swim lessons that he wasn't very confident. He was very nervous about the water. He's a very cautious little kid. So, he doesn't like being on high things where he can think he can fall. Ever since he was like, could barely talk, he'd be like, no, me caigo. Like, I'm going to fall. He's very aware of dangerous situations, right? So I could tell yesterday during his swim lessons that he was just like not very confident, very scared when he had to bob under the water to plug his nose and mouth. He would barely bob under the water. Like, he would just like go to where his eyes were. And today when I went to my mom's house to pick him up, I go to his room. I'm like, okay, mijo, like, are you ready for swim lessons? And he goes, no, Ducky, I don't want to go today. We call each other Ducky. It's a long story. I says, no, I'm not feeling too good. I don't want to get everyone else sick. I can kind of tell he was playing hooky a little bit. And I was just like, no, Alex, like, if you don't go today, like, you're not going to learn. Like, you need to go to swim class today. And he says, no, I'm not really feeling good. I can tell that he, like, wasn't being that sincere because I even, did the whole head touch and he was fine. But I told my mom, I was like, hey, mom, like, he doesn't want to go. His grandma was like, hey, mom, he doesn't want to go to swim lessons. He says he's sick. And she's like, no. Like, you paid for his swim lessons. He needs to go and he needs to learn how to swim. It's true. Like, he does need to learn how to swim. So I tell him, I'm like, Alex, because he's like watching YouTube in his room. I'm like, Alex, grandma says that you have to get ready and change that. Well, you do have to go. And he goes, Ma, no, like, I'm not feeling good. Like, I don't want to go to swim lessons. And she goes, okay, well, if you're not feeling good, then you're not going to get YouTube today. You're not going to watch YouTube. You're going to sit on the couch and we're going to put a cobija on you. And that's it. And he goes, no. Okay, I'll go. So, of course, I get him all ready for his swim lesson. And I take him over there. It's in San Leandro. And we get there. And another reason he doesn't really want to go swimming is because he thinks it's cold. The pool is heated, okay? It was a nice day today. It was probably like 72, 3, 4, 5 degrees, which is good for the bay, like the East Bay, We get there and he's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go in. And we're already late because of how long he took for me to take him. We're already late. And he says, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I'm like, Alex, you have to get in. You have to learn. And he says, no, I don't want to. He starts like running away from me. Everyone is staring. All the parents are like laughing and watching. All the kids are already in there. They've been in there for 10 minutes already. The swim instructor and everything. And I go, Alex, you have to go in or else I'm going to tell grandma and you're not going to watch YouTube all day. And he says, oh, fine. I knew he just didn't want to be wet and cold and uncomfortable. But I knew that as soon as he got in there, a few bobs and a few, jumping jacks in the water, he would be fine. And of course, he was fine. He improved a lot more than from yesterday. I'm happy that he got through with his little swim lessons. And then after that, I took him back to my house. I watched him for a little bit. My little cousin Esteban came over. We dropped off the baby to my mom's again. And then I got my nails done with Betty Cakes. So me and Betty Cakes always collab on my nails. Like I'll have ideas and she'll help work them with me. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see them. I wanted it to look kind of like a stained glass. So she used a see-through tint, and then she like added some gold metallic foil on the top of it. If you can see it, these are probably my favorite nails so far that she's done. So shout out to Betty Cakes with 2 Z's at the end. You guys can catch her on Instagram. She's like my favorite. We were just like gossiping about stuff in the nail industry, stuff here at my job, telling her about like things that I'm going on with me, how, I texted Jesus and all that. So it's always fun seeing her. I only get to see her maybe like once a month. So it's cool seeing her. And then we went to Walgreens, got some extra makeup. That's where I get my makeup, from Walgreens. And then I came here. And that was pretty much my day, you guys. That is it for Crystal's Nightcap. I think we're all done. That's that on that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. A lot of those stories that you saw, like I said, are up lacrystalrosas.com. Wherever you're listening, make sure that you do subscribe. It really like matters to me that you guys are out here listening every single day. I really can't believe it. Love you so, so much. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube to subscribe as well. Comment down below anything you wanted to sound off on. And yeah, that's pretty much it on that, you guys. Love you so, so much. I will see you on the next one. Mwah.